Hey Trevor, I just had my microphone muted. Don't think you wanted to hear me breathing for nothing. Hope you're enjoying well, for you, the beginning of your weekend. All right, let's just get this thing going. Tonight we got ourselves our second case of Doctor Who, series 5 to 7. Just want you to notice there's a little bit of a crush on the box. It should be fine when you have the outer box, then the inner boxes, then to the packs. Shouldn't be much of a problem. Dr. Dax, how are you this evening? So here's hoping that this case will be just as good as the last one was. But I mean, on the whole, this stuff is pretty well packed out. Alright, so this would be the box on the crushed corner, and the box itself looks fine, so we're good there. Give ourselves a little more room. Oh, turn it more. I have to remember how the packs went. Alright, so when we flipped them, it was 4 autographs in this row and 2 in this row, I think. And I think it was lower packs. Well, let's just go for it. And I don't remember already. Alright, and this might be a first autograph already, if I remember correctly. Nope. Insert. Allies. Adversaries. Do I need to show the inserts? Are we all pretty familiar with them, so we should be okay? Alright, now we're gonna, so like I said, I think it's the next 4, but if I'm wrong, then they're just gonna be right here. Alright, so I was wrong. That's the first autograph right there. So let's count off 4 packs, flip her over, and start working this way, I think. Obviously, Doctor Who is not as big here. Hey, Brian. Um, as it is over there, or actually, you're in Australia. As it is in the UK. I don't know how big it is in Australia. I haven't seen anything regarding, the new series, because for us, they moved it to Disney Plus. And what articles I have seen about Doctor Who, I feel like they're just really pushing hard that this is this show's so great. This particular season is better than anything that's ever been made. That seems to be every article I ever see. Of course, it's the same people that are writing the articles that say The Acolyte is the greatest show ever made. I mean, I think it's well known, but I think the issue is that it's well known, but not enough people actually watch it. All right, so we're going to leave. And I pulled these from there, so we should be good. Jonathan, how are you this evening? Specials. So I know the random happened, but I didn't really get a chance to. I didn't get a chance to see how everybody did. There's Rory. Yeah, I'm with you. I have to be honest. You know, I don't understand. And other specials. Um, with the specials, you know, some of what they did, it didn't make any sense. I feel like they, again, I don't want to go off on a political tangent, but autograph. There's just so much. There was so much stuff in the show, in the specials, that just didn't push the story at all. So I don't know why it was there. You know. And again, it's a shame because same thing with Jodie Whittaker. I mean, she was okay. There was nothing wrong with her portrayal of the Doctor, but the stories they put her in were just terrible. This new guy, I mean, he's fine. He's a very charismatic actor. I would, you know, I think Adrian told me whatever show he came from, something on Netflix. I don't have Netflix, so I don't know. All right, so I think these two are going to be autographs. Nope, specials. All right, I got myself all screwed up. I don't know where the autographs are. The girl, his companion, she's fine. The story's just not so much. All right, so we'll just start with our autographs. So we got bordered Alexandra Moen. Oh, I forgot to turn autofocus off. Sorry. Let me see if I can do that real quick without. Come on, properties. I'm sorry. Give me 1 second. I just want to turn autofocus off. I just got to set it right. Alright, so if we hold up to here, usually it's about. There we go. That should be good. Alright, what you got there, Dr. Dax? Yeah. Now, I'll tell you that the episode that just aired for Doctor Who was they were doing a 2-part season finale, and this on the whole felt a lot like a real Doctor Who episode. Mark Benton, full bleed. Dan Starkey, full bleed. No, the girl that plays the companion, she's the one that she's only in it for the one season. I think this top one has nothing. And every Doctor has, the whole, no, that's an autograph. You know, every doctor has their own, idiosyncrasies, which they should. They should have different personalities and things. Autograph. Ayesha Darker. Live Your Dream with some moon and stars. Colin Stinton full bleed. I always save it for last. Whatever the big name is, you know that. So, who do we get? Of course. And a second inscription. I'm Amelia, Karen Gillan. Notice that my autofocus is still a little goofy. Oh, it's gotta. Now you're gonna get an Alex Kingston. All right, so now we'll just start and see. All right, so autograph. And this is where I think I screwed us up last time. So there's 4 packs down. Yeah, I was looking at some of the other autographs, the images they used for her. They had some really. I tell you what, in general, they've got really good stills for these. They've got her in her cop uniform, the pirate. I saw the triple's cool. Yeah, that's the one that we got last time, the pirate one. What's the name of the actor that played Van Gogh? Is he in this? No, they don't have it set. Well, not that I'm not gonna do it, but on Facebook, Dr. Dax, I think it's in the pop culture Facebook group. They were doing a break, and it was the archive box and the 2 incentive autographs. I mean, the only thing when he does his breaks over there, it's a very low numbered spots. Like he'll only do, say, 10 spots in a break no matter what. So spot price is really expensive, but with that low number of picks, you're guaranteed to get something good. They should do a triple. Yeah, definitely. Definitely more bang for your buck. I don't know, I'm cheap. I always say that I'm cheap. I like our breaks to be less expensive. Yep. I think the Van Gogh episode of Doctor Who, that's probably one of the best episodes they had ever made of the new series. All right, so I think these two are autographs. I think this one's a dud pack. Yeah, Brian. I mean, nope, that's an autograph. It's one thing though, but when you're talking, a $10,000 case. Raji James. Now because I haven't rewatched because they don't air them here as far as I know. Um, I guess unless you have BritBox. Is Girl in the Fireplace, is that the one with the clockwork android people? So I guess because of Star Trek, this one went really high. Last one, Christina Chong, full bleed. Now I liked a lot of the Eccleston ones for that first season because they were a little bit darker. Bordered, Katrin Stewart. I think a fun triple. I say would be her, whoever the actress for, was it Madame Vastra, and then that Dan Starkey. The duels and triples. I mean that would make perfect sense. All right, Colin Spall. Um, yes, Mr. Lamech. Uh, I'd have to pull the checklist up to see what that is. Or they should do a David Tennant and Georgia Tennant. This guy, whatever his name is, Hugh Reese. I have no idea how you pronounce his name. I believe she did, yeah. That was one thing at the end of Game of Thrones, and they started some of those duels. They didn't make any sense. All right, Jacqueline King and Catherine Tate duel. It's a shame she looks like she slipped on the sea and then went back to fix it. This is looking for the case topper. It's in that last stack over there. You know, I almost wish that this had come out. I'm going to put that one over there. That's a sketch. Unless there's some other card that I don't know of that comes in a soft sleeve. Well, that's one of the complaints. This wrapper's coming apart. That's one of the complaints I've read a lot is that they. Which one did I grab from? Shoot. That they mix a lot of the series. Like, there's no reason for Paul McGann to be in here. And like I said, I don't remember every episode. You know, I know that he made an appearance in, I guess it was season 12, at the end of the one of the finales. Yeah, so I almost wish this had come out before the Philly show because then I'd be able to ask. But just looking at the way this is packed out, it's obvious that they had a production problem because it's missing the parallel. And if you would put the parallel back in, you could reseed the odds and end up with 5,000 boxes, which is how many they had of the last release. Plus the archive box. And the last archive box had, I don't think it had all the autographs. I think it was like 30 autographs. You know. Yeah, I don't know. I was reading something else or talking to somebody else, and like I said, we were really going through it, and that seems to be the case. I mean, not complaining. The one thing I'm wondering with the show in general is, you know, moving to Disney Plus and, you know, being, you know, apparently, supposedly not doing very well. I wonder how many more seasons they have left of the show before they stop it altogether. Well, there's no reason that she wouldn't. And Capaldi was in Pop Century, so I'm sure they have him already, or they, you know, will be getting him for this. I'm not sure who it was, but somebody had mentioned when we opened up and got this sketch last time that it was a portrait, and from some of the other sketches that you would pull out of, say, Star Trek, not a lot of portraits. I was looking on eBay, and it seems like almost every sketch is a portrait. For this one. Well, if they do that, Trevor, they're going to have to... Uh-oh. We got a duplicate. This is our first one. Yeah. Mark Benton. That's not good. Now, if they reinvent this, like you were saying above, Trevor, the problem is they're going to have to take a break. I mean, they take long breaks now. Very long breaks. Full bleed. Stuart Milligan. They also need to get rid of... I mean, that was the sketch. They need some different people in there to produce the show. Amy Beth Hayes. There better be a really good Dr. Companion autograph in this one. Inscription, Dan Starkey, Commander Strax. Full bleed, Caitlin Blackwood. Full bleed, Paul McGann. Does he always put the Roman numeral 8 after his name? I didn't pay attention to the... we got a bordered last time. Didn't notice if he did or didn't. Alright, dun dun dun. Cool. Portrait. This is Dan Bergeron. Very nice. Just because I keep getting this wrong right from the get-go. Just gonna jump down a few packs. Hold on, I'll grab it back 1 second. I'm not sure if it was, because there was those, it does look like a head, I think, because it looks like there's a couple of wires coming from the bottom. You can see on the bottom. There were a few episodes where they encountered, old, uh, very poor shape Cybermen. I think it was the Capaldi one. I can't think of the girl's name that was his companion. At the end, they had like landed on that ship that was all old, rusted out Cybermen. Yeah. Handles. That's good. You guys remember these a lot better than I do. Alexandra Moen, full bleed. Alright, so then if that's the case, then that means these don't have autographs in them. So now, do you guys have these on DVD? Do you subscribe to, like I said, BritBox, or you just remember it all that well? And like I said, I don't think they replay them on BBC America anymore. Couldn't tell you the last time I got to see one of the old episodes. I think I feel like I asked the same question last time, because now that you said Max, that reminds me. Cause I think we were talking about how I was thinking about getting that because I know my daughter, she has been watching some of the DC stuff, the cartoons. I think Adrian was telling me before that those shows, that when you get them, you're a little behind. Like they, you know, um, when Doctor Who was on BBC America, I believe they aired on Saturday nights. Alright, back to autographs. Full bleed, Myanna Buring. Yeah, I was curious, like, does Disney have an exclusive contract? At least for the newest season. Ruthie Milne, Flora. Bordered, Francis Barber. Yeah, I haven't searched too deeply on Disney Plus. So I couldn't tell you if there is anything. There's the wonderful autograph. I mean, the fact how much he uses the space and utilizes every inch of this card. Joe Pickley. Agree about there being too many streaming services. I don't. I guess technically I don't subscribe to any of them. I say my son, that's his Disney Plus. And my wife has Amazon Prime for shopping, so we watch whatever's on there. Yeah, I don't know how he. I mean, how old is he in that picture? Maybe 12. And that was. Yeah, so I mean, he's definitely an adult. Oh, whoops! Sorry, I forgot the. Arthur Darvill. I love Amy. I heart Amy. I give up. I can't remember at all. Morning, Adrian. And as usual, I screw it up right from the get-go. Yeah, my son, he is a big Star Wars fan. You know, I got him when he was, oh hell, probably 5. Yeah, I was getting him to watch the original trilogy, and he's 20 now, almost 21. To hear the way he talks about the Acolyte, oh my God. Adrian, I I'll have to check if she posted or not. Eugenia had asked if I was doing a third case, and I responded back to her by email, letting her know that there was a third breakup. I know she doesn't get on too often. I hate it when the wrappers do this, when the coating peels apart from the foil. Now I know I took the wrappers in the first case, but reminder to whoever takes the wrappers, they are worth 4 points apiece now. They went from 2 to 3 to 4 very quickly. Alright, so these two should be autographs. These 4 should be autographs. So then these should all be nothing. Well, inserts. They really get you guys on those import fees, don't they? I don't know if it helps or not. When I send out the packages, I always put, even though we declare a value, I still put gift, because to me, I mean, they're your cards, you paid for them, so I feel like I'm just, sending you your cards. Why should I put down that it was it was goods? I know, Trevor, you said definitely FedEx is is worse than UPS when it comes to that. All right, we have a bordered of Caitlin Blackwood. Oh, you paid sales tax in New Jersey. Frances Barber, give the order. When she, because we had the, what was it, Bring Me the Child, something like that in the first inscription from the first case. I want to scream it the way how large and in bold she writes her inscriptions. Full bleed, Derek Riddle. somebody can correct me, but that one doesn't look familiar to me, so I'm not sure if we pulled a full bleed in the first case. Also, the Myanna Buring full bleed, that one didn't ring a bell to me. Robert Hands, Doctor Who. So I guess specifically if you, like if the sendee, if it's a business name and not, just John Smith, they'll get you. Ron Donachie, full bleed. I want to draw that braided beard thing he had. And full bleed, Jenna Louise Coleman. I think this is the same one we had in the first case for the full bleed. Has she been in other things before or after? I honestly, I can't place her in anything. I mean, Matt Smith, David Tennant, like all these guys, I've seen them in other shows, movies. What? I do it every time. Why do I do it? Of course, I mean, who knows? They could, be doing Broadway or whatever the UK version of Broadway is. So Sandman, the was that Neil Gaiman, the comic book adaptation, or is it something else? She was in the first Captain America? Jonathan, that reminds me, um, before kids, I took my wife and we went and we saw Grease on Broadway, and they would constantly swap the actress who would play Rizzo, and it would always be somebody famous, somebody different. At the time, this is going back 30 years. Um, they had when we went to see it, they had Lucy Lawless. I think Rosie O'Donnell did it the most. See, now I'm going to have to look that up. I never watched Xena Warrior Princess, but everybody cheered because at one point when she did some like battle cry, which I guess she used to do it in the show. What's Xenoblade Chronicles? I'm guessing it's a video game. That's what it sounds like. We're due for another dual signed. Time to start taking bets. I mean, we're due for a doctor, and we'll do for another double. I'm with you. I don't count McGann as a doctor. I don't think he should have even been included. Like when I call him the Eighth Doctor, because it was a made-for-TV movie that really had little to do. All right, we're autographs now. Full bleed, Ben Browder. Because I don't think they would need Eric Roberts, because he played the Master in that made-for-TV movie. Here's Jonathan Hart. And the Curator, that was at the end of the War Doctor string of episodes, right? Full bleed, Orla Brady. All right, actually, you know what? I'm gonna save that one because I feel like it was the second autograph in from the bottom was the Doctor Companion. I think definitely wasn't the first or the last. Full bleed, David Westhead. Arabella Weir, Christmas Special 2011. All right, let's see if anybody's right. Everybody's wrong. It's not a doctor. But it is Karen Gillan and Arthur Darvill Duel. So I wouldn't complain. We got, so both of these duels we got in the first case. And I'm definitely okay with that one. So does that mean we're going to get, it was the Tennant Freema, right? Was the third duel that we got? So we're going to take 2 packs from here, and then we're going to take 4 packs from here, and then we're going to take that pack and put it at the bottom. Let's see how we did. If I finally got it right 3/4 of the way through. Alright, I'm definitely going to say we're getting a doctor this time. Single. So let's see, we had, what was it, a bordered Matt Smith? Oh, that's good. I guess that's one of the problems with the Rittenhouse, especially with all the different versions. Some people only like full bleed, some people like bordered, some people the inscriptions now, and then the bordered, they changed the design of them. I want them to bring back the Agents of S.H.I.E.L.D. Excuse me, the black with the silver signatures. And they were all vertical. A lot of the other silver signatures that they made have been horizontal. Yeah, that's why I think on the whole the photos are great. Okay, let's see what we got. So we're going with Matt Smith again. Is that the guess for this box? Full bleed of Steven Berkoff. Christine Adams, Full Bleed. Yeah, I don't think anybody would complain about getting more than one Jenna Coleman. Full Bleed, Sarah Louise Madison. Inscription, the Tower of Three, or excuse me, the Power of Three, even though it looks like a T. Steven Berkoff again. Full Bleed, Joe Joyner. How do you people remember all of this stuff? Like, I haven't seen S.H.I.E.L.D. since it was on the air. Alright, no such luck. Full Bleed of Catherine Tate. Apparently I am not a real nerd, because a lot of the secondary characters I do not remember. Also, I just haven't watched the shows in forever. I don't, I gotta tell you, I don't watch a ton of TV anymore. Just don't have the time for it. Alright, so 1, 2, 3, 4. We take the second pack, put it on the bottom, and 1, 2. And that should be it. You want to know how boring my TV watching has become? Actually, it's not entirely true, but because my wife and I, we just started watching Reacher on Prime. That's a pretty fun show. But when I go to bed at night, I'll put the TV on, and I end up watching This Old House, how it's made. I mean, completely old person, boring things. Get you to fall asleep quickly. That's the worst when you put something on and then you actually get interested in it and it wakes you back up. Yeah, I'll watch some classic Doctor Who on Roku or some old MS Mystery Science Theater 3000. what is that, MeTV, plays a lot of the old shows. Oh, got mixed up. Here's an autograph. Full bleed of Arabella Weir. Alright, so now does that mean this is an autograph? Or did I grab the wrong? Yeah, so I grabbed the wrong 2 packs. I bet you I grabbed from the bottom instead of the top. Full bleed, Anna Louise Plowman. Well, I think the issue with Quantum Leap is that now it got canceled, but they, remade it. Oh, right about that. I was always curious with the older shows is, yeah, like who has the rights to them? So, I can't think of his name, but in the 80s, there was one guy who wrote a lot of TV shows. When they would do at the end of the show, it would be a guy sitting at a typewriter, and he would pull the paper out, and then it would like that was like their logo. Or let's just say Norman Lear. That'll be an easy one. So if Norman Lear gave you permission to make a card set from every show he's written, like I wonder, does he have the rights or does ABC have the rights? Because it would seem to make the most sense anymore. Stephen Bochco. All right. So since you remembered the name, what were the shows? I know it was a lot of them. I just feel like it would make more sense to have a multiple. All right, so where did I put the 2 wrong packs? Are these them? Yeah, these are them. So I grabbed the wrong 2. They could do a show, a set of like all the old Private Eye shows. Here's Simon and Simon and Rockford Files and Crazy Like a Fox, Matlock, all those guys. I could use a Lee Horsley. Our second double, Sarah Louise Madison. Oh, yeah, I already flipped it. This is our third, all different. Caitlin Blackwood. There's a crack in my wall. Man, I know you want Jenna Louise. I want Matt Smith. Or David Tennant or another duel. Full bleed of Finlay Robertson. David Tennant and Freema Agyeman. I don't know how to pronounce her last name. So we got the same three duels. Not complaining. Just think it's funny. I never understood how they didn't make another Saturday Night Live set. I mean, they had that set, was it Star Pix that put that set out? And there was only a handful of autographs. I mean, now that it's been on the air for 50 years, you could easily. All right, two on the bottom, or excuse me, two on the top. These four, second one goes to the bottom. Yeah, the one storyline with the whole dystopian future thing with the Master, I thought that was a cool one. Just I didn't like the um, when they turned the Doctor into the little troll-looking thing. Sometimes they get a little silly with how they do things. That's because I only half pay attention. Well, with all of the new, from the new series, I mean, Billie Piper, did she get a Raw deal? I don't think so. And then she went on to do some other shows. Freema, never watched it because I don't know if it ever actually aired over here, but she was on, it was like Law and Order UK, which I think Peter Davison was on that. So, as Doctor Who goes, yeah, she probably didn't get much. I know that name, Dr. Dax, but I never watched it. Well, there you go, Jonathan. That would make a lot of sense. See that now? If he was able to give permission to make sets, and you didn't need the permission from the broadcaster. I know the girl that they brought in to replace Clara, she didn't last very long at all. She got turned into a Cyberman. Might not even have lasted an entire season. They could always be brought back. I mean, I know a lot of you haven't watched the new stuff, but they brought back, oh God, is it Mel? She was with Sylvester McCoy? Or Colin Baker? Alright, well, went out of order. Full Bleed, Corey Johnson. Well, my thing with Clara wasn't as much as it was with Clara is that I didn't really care for Peter Capaldi, which I guess is kind of a shame because apparently he is a huge Doctor Who fan. Katrin Stewart. So when you were dealing with the end of both of them at the same time, basically, I don't know, I just didn't like it. Hey, it's our John Hancock here. Joe Pickley, no chips for me. I have to go back and watch Torchwood too, because I didn't remember him. What character was he in there? Valil Shabalala. Okay. This may be the single best box we're ever going to get, and just because of rarity. Alright? So, we're going to start with this one, which is bordered Pirate Karen Gillan, which we had in the first case. So, if we're going to get an autograph, and it's not a doctor, and it's not a companion, who would you want to see? Maybe a bordered Andrew Garfield? Okay, now we're going to get a doctor in the next box. We have to. We've only gotten two doctor autographs, right? The McGann and the Tennant in the duel. 1, 2, 3, 4. Put that one there, over there. Take these two, put them there. Okay. Well, I saw one Garfield on eBay. I didn't save the listing or anything because I just looked them up. Um, I have a saved search for just Doctor Who in general, because for me, I'm just looking for the insert sets. So we have 2 more boxes after this one, so this is the 3rd to the last box. So there has to be at least one more Doctor autograph in here. Now, let's see. We're definitely not getting any more Gillens. That's done. Not counting the duel, did we only get the one inscription for Darville? So if that's the case, I could see there being another one of him. We got 2 Catherine Tates. Do you have any of the Torchwood cards? It was a card game, not like a full-fledged release. I'm not sure if you've ever seen any of my. Yeah, we pulled. I'm pretty sure we pulled a Kingston. Hmm. Maybe we didn't. Okay, so Kingston, Smith, and actually, I'm going to go with 2 Kingstons and a Smith. But anyway, Jonathan, so it was a card game, just like the Doctor Who Battles in Time. I don't know if I've ever shown those off. I guess early on when I was joking with Trevor about pulling a Kingston, that must have been why I had her on my mind. Well, Kingston, Smith, and Freema, that would, you know, make it, like I said, almost a mirror image of the first case. I think we had 2 or 3 Kingstons in the first case, and every one they made of her. Alright, this one we did not have in the first case. Ron Donachie, Werewolf. Too funny, Brian. Alright, we definitely had this in the first case. Paul Mark Davies, Full Bleed. Nina Toussaint White, Full Bleed. It's possible. So many names, they all kind of blend together after a while. Stuart Milligan. What is that box? We can't have a case without having Clem Tibber. There we go. Paul McGann. You'll do great things. I'm disappointed to pull the doctor autograph. There's our case topper. And CT4. You know, I mean, you do feel bad. It's not his fault that, you know, he ended up doing a made-for-TV movie that was directed by Wally Beaver. If I remember that little tidbit correctly, that Tony Dow was the director or producer. maybe they'll make it up to us, and we'll get the we'll get another duel. I mean, we definitely has to be Kingston as one of these other two, but I'm just afraid that it's not. Oh, ran out of batteries on my light. You know, I got these nice lights. Here, I'll show you real quick. So, I got these nice LED lights. I got them as a present. And you can plug them in or battery. And they've got these extension poles so that they can go up to 6 feet tall. And the cord isn't even long enough to plug them in and have it extended. So I got to charge them, and you know they only last about an hour and a half. I mean, I'm sure I could put some kind of a little extension cord and run them up. But I mean, they are nice lights. I think if brakes start becoming a little bit more consistent again, I want to look at investing in a better. This is the best webcam that I can find, and they're all the same. One that's a little bit cheaper than this one that I had before. It's still the exact same quality. Apparently you have to get like a real camera, digital video camera. I'm afraid to know how much they cost. I mean, I've watched other people's brakes and they all use the same camera. Alright, I'm really hoping for Smith, but I'm actually going to go with Kingston in one of these boxes, and I'm going to go with another Darville. I'm going with two companions. Finlay Robertson. No clue what this is. The Angels. The Angels have the phone box? Let me jump over to the checklist real quick and inscription autograph. The Angels, yes, the Angels have the phone box. The thing is that Kingston is plentiful, Trevor, so that means that you're pretty much guaranteed to get her in your case. Full Bleed, Colin Spall. I really do hope that's the case. Full Bleed of Frances Barber. So we got all three of her. One inscription, Full Bleed, and the bordered. No, don't jinx us, but so far it's been 2 for real duplicates. Sarah Louise Madison, Weeping Angel. Full Bleed, Aisha Darker. And I believe her other one was a inscription early on in the break. Oh, somebody was right. Freema Full Bleed. You know when they say when you would bet on something, would you bet an amount that would make you uncomfortable? And I would bet an amount of money that would make me uncomfortable that there is an Alex Kingston in this last box. And just because I'm going to be a jerk about it, I'm going to look and see what we got, and I'll make you guys wait till the end. Alright, so that's 3 there, and 2 here. Well, he said I finally got it figured out for the last box. So I didn't look at the checklist to make sure, but I noticed that in the allies and adversaries inserts that they have it's either number 4 or number 7. So I guess that replaces, there was one where the image didn't get approved in the first release of that insert set. So I guess they filled it in so there's no gaps. But don't forget, Trevor, you promptly moved that card to somebody else who wanted it. So it all worked out in the end. Now, I'm not sure if it is the same. I wish I could remember who that missing card was supposed to be. But they, like I said, there was something where the image never got approved, so they couldn't issue it. So, not sure if they finally got the image approved or they just replaced it with somebody else. But is that who it was in the original release? Now I'm gonna check because I'm curious. I mean, that's average. We want Atlas. Let's see. Oh, did I go in the wrong stack? I guess it's in this last one. I don't see it here. That would sink if the collation didn't work. Well, I mean, maybe I'm just not looking. Or it's in this last stack of packs. Yeah, I wish I could remember who told me. Somebody told me who it was supposed to be, and I don't think it was the guy from Rittenhouse. Oh, there it is. Saved it for the last box. Yeah, AL4. There you go. I knew somebody would remember. Was Harriet the sister or the mother? Matthew Chambers. Look at me. I just remember in the same, in the ones with the master, that Martha's whole family was in it. Full Bleed, Annette Badland. How about an Ian Glen inscription? Nope, not that good. Bill Patterson, Full Bleed. And what does that say? It says Octavian. I swear that was two separate words. Oh, all my boxes of base cards that I put behind me fell over. Is this a duplicate? I know we pulled her, Ruthie Milne. I just don't remember what version. We'll check in the recap. And time and space. We didn't get away. Come on, we all knew that we were going to get her. Alright, time for our recap. I'll sort all these inserts later. I'm sure the collation Rittenhouse is always really good, so I'm sure we'll be fine. Alright, we'll start. We had on our duels David and Freema, Karen and Arthur, Jacqueline and Catherine. Our bordered Caitlin Blackwood, Frances Barber, Katrin Stewart, Alexandra Moen, and then Karen Gillan, and we cannot forget Andrew Garfield. You know, the only thing though, Adrian, is that Gillan and Garfield came in the same box. So even if he were to replace a doctor or companion due to his scarcity, he should have been in a different box. Alright, I'm putting Ruthie Milne off to the side here because I think that might be a double. I'm not sure. Bill Patterson, Annette Badland, and we'll just do all the good people last. Aisha Darker, Frances Barber, Colin Spall, Clem Tibber, Nina Toussaint White, Paul Mark Davies, Valil Shabalala, Katrin Stewart, Corey Johnson, Finlay Robertson. This is a duel. Sarah Louise Madison, Arabella Weir, Anna Louise Plowman, Joe Joyner. Here's the second Sarah Louise Madison, Christine Adams, Stephen Burkhoff, David Westhead, Orla Brady, Jonathan Hart, Ben Browder, Ron Donachie, Derek Riddle, Joe Pickley, Myanna Burring, Alexandra Moen, Caitlin Blackwood, Amy Beth Hayes, Stuart Milligan, Mark Benton, number 1, Hugh Reese, Christina Chong, Raji James, Colin Stinton, Dan Starkey, Mark Benton, number 2. Alright, so we did only get one Ruth Milne, so that means we got 2 duplicates. So, I mean, being that you get 72 autographs in a case, I mean, that's not bad. I think that getting no duplicates in that first case was a real aberration. Alright, so then full bleed, the better ones. Freema, Catherine Tate, Paul McGann, and Jenna Louise Coleman. Our inscriptions. Oops. Matthew Chambers, Sarah Louise Madison, Finlay Robertson, Stuart Milligan, Ron Donachie, Joe Pickley, Caitlin Blackwood, Stephen Burkhoff, Arabella Weir, Robert Hands, Frances Barber, Ruthie Milne, Dan Starkey, Colin Spall, Aisha Darker. Okay, then we have Ian Glenn, Alex Kingston, Arthur Darville, Paul McGann, and Karen Gillan. And our sketch, Dan Bergren, is apparently his name is Handles, the Cyberman head. So that is everything. I will start. It's not too late. I'm going to try and start a little bit of the scanning tonight. It's a lot of scans to get them all done. and I'll get sorting all the base and everything, so that way I'll get them out in the mail. That takes the longest, is sorting all the base and making sets for everybody. So thank you for watching. There is a third breakup if you guys want to get in on that one. The price did go up. Obviously, we knew the price of the case was going to go up just based off of the contents. The only other break I have going on right now is there's a third case of House of the Dragon, if you are interested in that one. So go check them out over on Blowout. And if there's anything else you're interested in, shoot me an email, message me on here, message me on Blowout. You know the deal. So thanks for watching, and see you guys on the next break.